Welcome back to the Fanboy Cantina. In this video we're talking about the G.I. Joe Classified line and new repaints coming to Duke, Roadblock, and Scarlett. The first wave of G.I. Joe Classified consisted of Duke, Scarlett, Roadblock, and Snake Eyes. But with that wave there was some mixed feedback from collectors about the color choices, particularly the accents of gold and other vibrant colors. If you were in that group and you didn't like those vibrant colors, there's good news. You can go to bigbadtoystore.com where they have for pre-order the redecoed, the repainted versions of Roadblock, Scarlett, and Duke. Let's first take a look at Roadblock. Roadblock I think is much improved. That gold accent that you would see, or the light grays and the light green, have all gone to much darker tones, much darker colors. That railgun or laser gun, whatever that is, instead of being molded in a light gray color, it is a dark blue. Looking at the figures side by side, we can see the differences. On the left it's the original, on the right it's the repaint. So as we just said a moment ago, the laser rifle as well as the other accessories are now molded in this dark blue color. The vest is transformed from the light green to the darker green. The gold accents all around the figure have gone away, and so that includes the shin guards and the one knee pad. Those are now going with darker tones. The accents around the gloves, you had the red highlights previously, those are now with darker tones. I think this figure is very much improved. Next, let's look at Scarlett. So Scarlett also goes through the repaint treatment, and I think the head sculpt is most distinctively different, where they've gone with a darker color for the hair. The paint detail in the face itself, very much improved. It's like a whole other figure. Looking at the rest of the figure, so again, the gold accents have gone away, but in this case they've been replaced by a kind of a subdued yellow color. And I think subdued is the right word choice for the rest of the paint choices on the repainted Scarlett action figure. Just a little bit more toned down, a little bit more subdued. So looking at the figures side by side, again, the original is on the left, the repaint is on the right, and you can see the choices that were made where the gold accents have been replaced. In some cases, the colors have gotten lightened up, like on the pants, they've gone with a lighter color. I think both versions are very nice, but I think the head sculpt, or excuse me, the paint ops on the head sculpt are just a lot better in the repainted version. That brings us to Duke. I think Duke has the least visible changes. Again, these pictures are from bigbadtoystore.com, where you can pre-order these redecoed, repainted versions of the figures. So the rifle is missing the light tan accents that originally had. The gold on the shin guards and the knee pads have been replaced with this dark green color. Beyond that, not much in the way of visible changes. Looking at the figures side by side with the original on the left and the repaint on the right. So the shin guards and the knee pads are painted in that dark green color. There are also some red accents on the gloves in the original figure that are now more subdued. You don't see the red, and we already talked about the rifle. Both of these figures are nice, but I do prefer the repainted version. So post in the comments, what do you think? What do you think of the repainted versions of these G.I. Joe Classified action figures? And if you happened to already purchase the original versions, is it enough for you to want to get these repaints? For me, I did not pick up the originals of Duke and Roadblock. I do have Scarlett, and I do have the Cobra Island version of Roadblock, but I'm really liking these repaints. I think they did a very nice job, and they are better representations of these characters. And I really like the convenience and availability. None of the Target exclusives madness. You can go online and At least in the case of Big Bad Toy Store, you can pre-order the repainted versions. It's clearly marked on the site as the redecoed versions. That's great. I would assume that other retailers will follow suit. I would also assume that these repainted versions will be the only versions that you'll be able to find going forward. As always, thanks for watching. Please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. This has been the Fanboy Cantina.